So, what is the Chilean Kalimba RP? It's a new Ableton Live Instrument rack I created by sampling my cherished little kalimba here. I got it in Frutillar, Chile, when I was traveling there back in 2017. It's made out of Lingue, which is a native Chilean wood. I feel this instrument has a pretty mid-range quality to it and a warm sound that is rare for a thumb piano. I really like its tone, and obviously it's an instrument really dear to my heart. I have a strong emotional connection to it, so that might be part of why I like it that much. So I set out to sample this kalimba. It has 6 notes: D flat, A flat, E flat, a lower D flat, F, and B flat. I set up 2 Cascade M39s, which are pencil small condensers. I set them up in a 90 degrees angle to create a stereo pair with them. I also put the Cascade V57 large condenser on top to get a center mono image and also to get more of the attack of the thumb on the tines. I played 3 different velocities, so piano, mezzo forte, forte. Then I recorded 3 different round robins. The goal of having those round robins is to have a different sample triggered each time you press the key, instead of having the same sample triggered over and over again, which gives you a more realistic feeling when you're playing the instrument. The next steps were to denoise the sample and apply minimum processing like EQ and a little bit of compression on those, and then start programming the device in the Ableton sampler. Speaking of that, let's have a look at the device. So here's the device. You have 8 main macros. The first one is the volume one. So you can easily access volume or gain. The second one is the mic position one. So if you go far left, you have the V57 large diaphragm, which gives you a centered mono sound. If you go towards the middle, then you have the M39's pencil mics. Which gives you a wider stereo image. And if you go towards far right, you have a blend of the 2 that I created. So you can have the best of both worlds. The third knob is where you can morph between the 2 main instruments. So you have the main kalimba, which is the real sample instrument, and the vabimba, which is an instrument that I created only with the A flat 3 notes, which I cut the attack of it, which gives like a vibraphone tone quality to it. So you can blend between those 2. Or you can go far right and only have the vabimba sound. One thing to note is the vabimba, like the attack is really precise because all the beginning of the sound was cut. The kalimba, I kept a lot of the thumb playing the tine of the instrument, so there's a little bit of delay on the attack, which is normal. So when you blend between the 2, you'll hear that delay, and it's for you to see if you like it or not. You can use like the far left or far right to use the instrument independently if you don't want to blend between those two. Then the fourth macro is the filter. It's set at the low pass if you want to cut some highs and create that type of sound. The fifth one is the RP, so the reverse tail and the pad that I created, kind of using the same concept as the muted Zyler piano RP. Far left is the kalimba sound, dry, and when you start turning the knob, you get to blend the reverse tail first. Toward the middle, you have like a good mix of that reverse tail. And when you pass the middle point, you have a pad that starts to come in. And when you go toward the far right, you can play the pad fully wet. The sixth knob is the reverse and pad release, so you can adjust the release time if you want it really short. Or like way longer. The last two macros, you have a choice of two reverb. You have the room and a dark all. You can adjust them to taste. Then if you expand the device, on the second page here you have two other macros. So you can play with the attack of the pad. So let's say I go and put on a pad. I can put that attack a little bit longer. And you can also play with the volume of the pad. So let's say you want to create a blend where the pad is more obvious, so you can play with that too. Let's say I put in a little bit of the kalimba in there. Then you can adjust the pad volume. In the Live Pack, you also have 8 different presets, so I'll give you a quick tour of all of them. So you have the default one that I've been playing since the beginning. Then you have a sub bass. I created the sub bass using the vabimba sound and just looping a cycle of the waveform because it had a sine wave shape to it, and I morphed it into this sub. It sounds really cool. The next one is the shimmer. It blends a little bit of the pad, brings out a lot of reverb from the dark hall, and also just a tiny bit of the vabimba morphed with the kalimba. You have the kalim bass, which is like a shorter bass sound. You have an intimate setting. Just with the V57 centered mono and no reverb. You have the ghost preset. With the reverse tail and a lot of reverb. You have the ethereal. Which is the pad all the way up. And you have the almost Rhodes. Which has like a Rhodes quality to it. Please let me know in the comments if you make some music with it and send me some clips. Click like, subscribe if it's something that you want to do, and I'll see you next time. Bye.